I came out with Grind Style Calisthenics over a year and a half ago, which is basically my attempt at creating the simplest, most efficient, and most straightforward way to use bodyweight training for helping you build muscle and strength. Fantastic program, a lot of great feedback from you guys, but I'm still learning and the program is still evolving. So in today's video, I want to share with you some of the evolutions and advancements that I've been using with the program to help you bring the Grind Style Calisthenics method to a whole nother level. So of course, Grind Style Calisthenics is based on 4 phases in your workout. You got your tension control phase, stability phase, strength phase, and finisher hypertrophy phase. The reason for these is because we're addressing one of the layers in the neuromuscular hierarchy to ensure that you're building a complete approach to strength training. Because unfortunately, a lot of us, we spend too much time focused on strength work or muscle building work or something. And if that's the case, one of the lower levels in your neuromuscular hierarchy, if it's not well developed, it's always going to hold you back. So by addressing each of those phases in every workout, we ensure that you don't have anything that's holding you back and handicapping your long-term progress. Now the changes are dealing with which of these phases we're bringing to the next level. So first and foremost, we got our tension control phase where we work on engaging the muscles and working on the neural synergy so your muscles are working together. In the book, I talked about having exercises that primarily practice engaging the muscles against loadless techniques, things like arms behind the back kind of stuff. Fantastic exercises, work like a charm. However, of course, since then, I've come across overcoming isometrics, using my iso loop, much more effective exercises at engaging sleeping muscles and getting things working together. So a lot of the exercises in the book already do that. They're already overcoming isometrics. But I wanted to just put an emphasis on saying iso loop or overcoming isometric exercises like pressing down into a table for your triceps are the primary approach from now on for improving your neuromuscular tension control. Now, stability phase uses your shift work because you're only as strong as you are stable. If you don't have much stability, you cannot get much stronger. So we work on shifting work in order to improve our neuromuscular stability. That doesn't really change very much, but one of the things I have learned that I wanted to mention is that if you really kind of get as much range as possible in this shift work, it's also fantastic for mobility work. In fact, in my case, I've gotten to the point where I just do the shifting phase exercises. And I don't even stretch. I don't do any accessory mobility work or anything like that anymore because that's more than taking care of me. All right, strength phase. This is where things get a little bit funky now. Now, in the book, I talk about 3 sets going to a really high degree of fatigue and backfilling strategy up to 15 repetitions. Again, nothing wrong with that, great program. However, what I've come to understand is that each of these 4 phases should be training your muscles with a bit of a different type of stimulus. And if we're using the muscles in a very similar way from one phase to the next, we're not really creating a unique stimulus, so there's not really that much different benefit from one phase to the other, not the most efficient way to go. So here's what I'm recommending from now on. The strength phase should be done with no more than 10 repetitions, preferably no more than 8 repetitions per each set. Because what we want to do is go heavy in this set. We want to go really heavy, keep the repetitions low. So with that said, we're going with less than 10 reps, but you may want more than 3 sets for this. And the reason for that is because I do not want you pushing your muscles to failure or to that red zone, so to speak, because we want to save just a tiny little bit. So when you're doing this, go to like 80, 90%, save 1, maybe 2 repetitions in the tank for every one. And then we've got the finisher or the hypertrophy phase. This is the complete opposite from a strength perspective. Now we want to go above 10 repetitions, preferably 12 to 15 at least. And you're going to be using muscles, or you're going to be using exercises rather, that are going to be pushing your muscles into that red zone and beyond. The thing we want to keep in mind is in order to get the most out of that, we don't want to do the exact same exercise but a lighter version from the strength phase. So I also recommend use a different exercise but of the same tension chain. For example, if you had a strength phase where you're doing weighted pull-ups, great. Now for the hypertrophy, you'll be doing like 1 arm strap rows. So it's still the same muscles, back, biceps, rear delts, all that kind of thing, but we've got a different angle. We're going from bilateral to unilateral. It's different enough that we're flooding our system with new instructions, a diverse set of instructions, but we're using the muscles in that higher rep, higher fatigue type of training. So that way we're getting more out of our exercise as opposed to just doing the same exercise, which is kind of telling the body more of the same, just a little tiny different. So those are the tips that I recommend that will take the Grind Style Calisthenics program to the next level and beyond. Let me know if you have questions down below. If you haven't tried it out yet, check out Grind Style Calisthenics on Amazon. Link is down below, or the Grind Style Calisthenics playlist right up over my shoulder here as well. Thank you so much for watching. Be fit and live free.